Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your boy, The Problem Child, here today to talk to you about WWE Sucks Part 4. Ladies and gentlemen, this frustrates the hell out of me, ladies and gentlemen. Believe me when I say this. And I'm going to go back on this video to SummerSlam with the John Cena incident. Now, John Cena gets his head slammed on the floor. He gets his head slammed on cement floor, and he can hop up and beat two guys that was beating the snot out of him in less than 30 seconds. It's unbelievable. And I don't blame John Cena for this, ladies and gentlemen. I blame the WWE, the people that's in charge of John Cena. It's like you just made the world know that John Cena is bigger than your organization. John Cena is bigger than wrestling. I mean, for now on, the titles of every show should be John Cena featuring WWE Monday Night Raw, or John Cena featuring John Cena WWE presents NXT, or John Cena presents WWE SmackDown. You know, a man busts his head on cement floor and he can hop up out of nowhere. You know, and it frustrates me because when he beat them, what the hell did it prove? What the hell did it prove to the world? What did you prove by letting John Cena win the match? You build up these guys as an unstoppable force, as an unstoppable movement in your organization. And one man, Superman basically, just came in and beat them by himself, single-handedly. It could have just been NXT versus John Cena at SummerSlam, and he would have buried all those guys. He buried those guys. He destroyed NXT by itself because everybody else, Jericho, Edge, everybody else got knocked out of the competition. But wait a minute, John Cena stays in and buried these two guys, buried the whole stable in less than 30 seconds. And what did it do for John Cena? Absolutely, positively nothing for him. It didn't do nothing at all. All it did was just prove to the fans that WWE just proved that this guy is bigger than wrestling. That's all it did. And it frustrates me so much that they do stuff like this. They bury people. They bury people tremendously. I mean, they build them up and just knock them right down. And everybody's on the Miz high horse right now. But I guarantee you when Triple H come back, because Triple H don't like the Miz at all. Triple H can't stand the Miz. So what is he going to do? He's going to do what he did to Shelton Benjamin. Build him up, and then, bam, knock him out. That's what he's going to do to the Miz. Miz is going to be on top of the world, and then next thing you know, WWE has announced that they released the Miz, and we wish him good luck on his future endeavors. And if y'all don't believe me, just watch it. It's going to happen. And if it don't happen, I'll be very surprised. You know, this is the same company that let that rat bastard, Randy Orton, who I love as a wrestler and I love as a competitor, but his backstage stuff pisses me off, who let him get rid of Ken Kennedy, Mr. Anderson, because he felt like he was threatened because Anderson messed his arm or something like that, his bad arm. I'm sure he didn't do it on purpose. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure he didn't. So he whined and bitched and complained and got his fucking wish. John Cena can beat two guys. And how many times have we seen a guy fall off the top rope and jump off the top rope doing his move, miss, and all of a sudden he's 1, 2, 3 out? Seriously? He couldn't kick out? Or, you know, and it's just frustrating me because you got these so-called Hollywood writers in there that want an Emmy and they want an Oscar and all this stuff so badly that they can taste it, that they don't know a fucking thing really about wrestling. All they are is just a bunch of Hollywood guys that just want to go ahead and win that Emmy in wrestling. And now they call themselves the longest episodic show on television. You know, yeah, you're the longest episodic show on television. I'm sure Law and Order had you beat. I'm sure those shows like the soap operas, I'm sure most of the soap operas got you beat, you know? But yet they want to keep bringing that up over and over again. But yeah, what's the point of having that in your shitty product? So you've been on the air for how many years, and how many years was actually pretty good, you know? So, I mean, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, you got Linda McMahon in the fucking thing. Oh, this is what I used to do. Yeah, I used to run this fake wrestling company. But now, all of a sudden, all she did, ladies and gentlemen, believe me when I say this, all she did was just shit on all those people that broke their necks and their backs to get her the money that she has now. And all that was just a big F-U to all those guys. All those guys that worked hard. All those guys that got lifelong injuries that would never heal. For her ass to call it fake wrestling to those guys? Well, how dare you? You know what? The only reason why she's in is because of her name. Nobody knows her political issues. I dare 10 people to get on my pages, comment to me about Linda McMahon issues, and I guarantee you they couldn't tell me one of her issues that she got, because all she is getting by on her name. She has not. The only reason why she's in politics is so that way they can just say, well, we accomplished everything. We went beyond wrestling. Because they're so fucking embarrassed to say that they're in a wrestling organization, that they do wrestling business, that it's fucking pathetic. Well, here's the thing. What's the point? You're making all these WWE films, you're making all these WWE movies, and you're trying to get Oscars. You got this shitty film that looks like it's going to be god-awful called Legendary. It just looked like they ripped off the wrestler. It just really looked like all they did was rip off the wrestler. And now, all of a sudden, now they want to get, oh yeah, we're so this and that. Yeah, we are sports entertainment. We don't want to call ourselves wrestling. We're sports entertainment. Well, guess what? You're wrestling. You make a ring. You put two guys in it. They do a couple of moves. They go in for a pin. You have titles in your name. It says World Wrestling Entertainment. You're wrestling. You're in a wrestling company. All you want to do is have the same fucking 5 guys to go ahead and draw money instead of having those guys that's in the ring, the mid-carders, the undercarders, the people that you have jobbers that shouldn't be jobbers, and you bury those guys on shows like Superstars and SmackDown, and then all of a sudden you look around like, what did we do wrong? Well, let me tell you what you did wrong. You sit up there and you got these guys working hard, wishing that they can go to the top, and you don't bring them to the top. And then next thing you know, 2 years from now, most of those guys are going to hear, we're sorry, but we have to let them go. Oh, John Morrison. Watch what I say. John Morrison has been released from his WWE contract. We wish him the best of luck on his future endeavors. And that's all he gets is a pat on the back for you firing him. Well, to those guys and to everybody that you screwed over the years with your fake wrestling, Linda McMahon and Vince McMahon. You made Breeze and No Wrestling pretty good, but what has happened to you? What has happened? What's happened to this evil genius that we've been hearing? Yes, I know a lot of people is not going to be happy in business. That's just life. No matter where you go, no matter what job you get, there's going to be a few employees that's not going to be happy, So you can't make everybody happy. I do understand that. But when it comes to putting out product, you're trying so hard to be PG with with the bathing suit contest, with the girls on there, wearing grandma swimwear, and then you have their picture in bikinis, and then, you got Randy Orton with his robotic voice, and I quote, and I remember I was upset when they told me that WWE is going that they were going PG. I was so upset with what was going on, and I didn't know what to do. But now that I have kids, I wouldn't want to see all that blood in front of them. I have to watch it. They'll watch it, and if you don't like it, then you can go and watch 60-year-old guys. You can go watch 60-year-old guys try to bleed each other and beat each other to death. Then review other see watch it. Well, guess what, Randy Orton? They're watching MMA. They are watching TNA. Sorry to tell you, but most of the fans are watching TNA and they're watching mixed martial arts. They're watching UFC. They're watching Strikeforce. WWE hasn't had the same ratings since they've been going through this era, and even before that. Because you're not being yourself. You know, you got John Cena being this guy that he's not. You got the best gimmicks for wrestling, for wrestlers, is when you're yourself, like The Rock. You know, they try to give The Rock Rocky Maivia. It didn't work, so they let him become The Rock. You got the Ringmaster Stone Cold. Didn't work. Then they let it be himself. Jim Cornette, Bobby the Brain Heenan, Ultimate Warrior, Hulk Hogan. You got all these guys, the Iron Sheik. All these guys was being themselves in the ring, and it fucking worked. Piper. Could you imagine if they put Piper in something else and said, well, you're going to be this? It wouldn't have worked at all. It would have just completely and utterly failed. And it's a shame that, you know, you got the next guy. You know what? I think Shane left because he knew this is almost the end of WWE. I think that's what he felt. And I think he left because of that. Because he knows that he wasn't going to get that company. He knew who was going to get that company. And that was going to be Triple H and Stephanie. And when they do get their hands on that company, you think it's bad now, ladies and gentlemen? It's going to suck even more. I can guarantee you. It's going to be Triple H at 60 years old, still in the ring, trying to wrestle, talking about, I am the game. Well, basically, Triple H, you're becoming Super NES, and we're in the PlayStation 3 era, you know? And then you're going to have Stephanie writing those same things, booking the same stupid-ass matches. You know what? You can't talk about Vince Russo when you got bullshit like John Cena getting hit on the damn concrete floor, or the next night John Cena is down to the count of 9, hops up, hops in the ring, and just lays there, and then all of a sudden put the STFU on Darren Young. You know what? You know what? I can go eat a sandwich right now, have a nice bag of Doritos, drink a little Kool-Aid, shit out the product that I ate, and then come up with a better booking gimmick than they're doing right now in WWE. WWE is just a waste of time. Why do we waste our time watching these bunch of blowhards try to prove something to us when they're not? Trying to make themselves a company, trying to raise the bar, and they're not raising the bar. All they're doing is disappointing us, upsetting us, and just hurting our memories, our great memories of wrestling. So to all those fans that you screwed over, to you, Linda McMahon, that fake wrestling company, to all those wrestlers that broke their back and died to please you and please your company, to all those guys that worked hard, that's never going to amount to anything in your company because you got your son-in-law who basically slept his way in the business, to giving your daughter who couldn't write a fucking poem if you gave her the words to rhyme. This is for all those people. To all the IWC fans that make their videos, that come up with better gimmicks and better booking schedules than anybody in WWE right now. This is a fuck you from all those guys. From all those guys to you, WWE. Fuck you. You suck. And I don't think you will ever get better. Because I think it's the end of the road for WWE. This is your boy, The Problem Child, saying, oh, by the way, and also with this WWE show, TV channel, nobody's going to pay for it. Who the fuck will want to pay for it? You might as well give it to us like they give us Nickelodeon. Because I don't see nobody's going to go pay $7 extra a month to look at Santino comedy show and also The Miz backstage at his personal house and stuff and looking at MTV Cribs WWE. You know? Nobody's going to pay to watch that bullshit. So this is to all of us that think WWE sucks right now and for wasting our precious time on this bullshit wrestling. Peace, one love, fuck you, I'm out.